What's up, guys? Ben here, Currency Kings. Going to cover Kansas taking on Kentucky, set to tip off 6 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Mountain Time. Currently, Kentucky is the favorite in this one by 6. The over-under is at 144. So this is an interesting matchup. This is a Big 12 SEC midseason matchup. Typically, you don't see non-conference this late in the season. Of course, you see that early in the season with non-conference tournaments going on to kick off the season. But this is a top 10 matchup with both teams. Kansas is ranked 9th. Kentucky is 8th in this one. Kentucky Wildcats coming off a dominant win against Mississippi State. Mississippi State is a very good team. I think you'll see them make a deep run in the March Madness tournament. And then you have Kansas, who played a ranked Iowa State team, and they won by a few points. And then, of course, Mississippi State ranked as well. So both teams coming off some big wins here. But Kansas, interesting story for them. They're without Azubuike and Sosa. Azubuike's out for the year with an injury. Sosa's still ineligible. He could come back later in the year, but it's looking unlikely. Later in the season, I should say. Kansas would be one of the best teams right now in college basketball if they had those two players on the court. But they've been led by LaGerald Vick, who's really picked up the slack. He's averaging 15 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists so far this season. And, you know, they have a guy like Bill Self, who's one of the best coaches in college basketball. Kentucky's hot. They've won 5 straight. They've won 8 out of their last 9 games. They had those early losses to Duke and Seton Hall in the season. They lost to Duke big. Some people wrote them off after one game. You shouldn't do that with a John Calipari coach team, considering how young their players are. They've been led by young freshmen Tyler Harrow and Keldon Johnson. Reed Travis has played great too as well. And it should be a great matchup. Let's look at some of the trends jumping into this one. Kentucky is 7-3 against the spread in their last 10 Saturday games. They're 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 games after against the spread win. Of course, that coming against Mississippi State last game. As far as the over-unders go, over is 5-2 in the Wildcats' last 7 as a favorite of 0.5 to 6.5. Over is 10-4 in the Wildcats' last 14 Saturday games. For the Jayhawks, they're 2-8 in their last 10 Saturday games, and then 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 road games. The overs look good for Kansas lately, 7-3 and 1 in the last 11 Saturday games, and then 4-1. The over has hit in the last 5, 4-1 as the over record, and that's as an underdog. So of course they're coming into this one as an underdog. So considering this is that non-conference mid-season matchup, I really think you have to give the edge to Kentucky in this one. Kansas has a long travel. Kentucky's the hotter team. They've improved game over game. They dominated, like I mentioned, a really good Mississippi State team that I'm high on. And I expect this to be a fast, up-tempo game. Kentucky also has more depth than Kansas. So as far as the side goes, I like Kentucky -6, and with the total, I have to go with the over of 144. So there you have it, guys. There's my predictions for the game of the day in the college basketball ranks. So play Kentucky -6 in that over of 144.